I was going to say, it must have been great, sort of fun for you both to have the first as a kind of platform to work on and find what worked in the first movie and then kind of expand on it for the second.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of the reason we were excited about the sequel was that, you know, we got to do this crazy first movie, Anchorman, and that the audience was kind of used to our tone. So we knew when we got to do a sequel, we could do even crazier stuff. I think it was one of the main reasons we wanted to do the sequel.
And is it the first sequel you've both done?
First sequel I've done for sure. I know Judd directed the third of the Die Hards, so that counts as a sequel, I guess.
And Rumblefish 2.
Yeah, and Rumblefish 2, which was straight to video. Straight to Laserdisc, actually. Yeah.
And I mean, of course, the first was such a huge cult classic. And I was wondering, did you feel that kind of expectation on you that you knew you had this kind of fixed audience already in place that were expecting something so fantastic, I suppose?
I was pretty laid back about it.
Yeah.
Judd was really nervous about it. Like, just constantly, everything we would do when we're working on the movie as producer, he would come in and say, don't you guys get it? The first one's a classic. This has to be great.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say this on the internet, but I was like, don't fuck this up. This feeds my kids. This is my cash cow. So
every day.
Get it right.
20 times a day we'd hear that speech while we're just trying to like write a funny scene. So drenched in sweat too, like hyperventilating, like every time he was talking.
Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. My name is on this. And I'll take it off too if I don't like it. I'll just take it off.
He took it off several times and then he would put it back on and be like, all right, that's not bad. Yeah.
And it must have made your job quite a lot easier though to have this character of Ron Burgundy that didn't need any introduction this time around. I mean, the second we see his face, there's a ripple of sort of laughter throughout the audience. It's almost everything he says sort of turns to gold. That must have been quite a nice kind of platform for you guys to have, I suppose.
It is nice. Yeah, Ron Burgundy's like alcoholic Santa Claus. Like, there's just a love that goes towards him. I'm not sure that love says a lot of good things about mankind, that we would love a guy like that, but it is there. So, yeah, It
was funny when we first would test the first Anchorman, and no one knew anything about it. They just knew it was a movie with Will Ferrell, who at that time wasn't a giant star. And half the place was so happy. They just couldn't believe what they had just seen. And half the place had no understanding of what they had just seen and was not cool with it.
It never tested that great, the first one. It did okay. Like, yeah.
And of all the characters that you've created and directed and produced in your respective careers, who would you say is the very funniest?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they have it over here, but I created the Clifford the Big Red Dog series, kids cartoon. I'd say that. That's the one I'm most proud of. And then second would be Ron Burgundy. No, I'm just kidding. Well, Ron Burgundy's definitely the one. I mean, it's definitely the most iconic, but, you know, we've all been lucky enough to do a lot of really fun movies. So, I like Brennan Huff from Step Brothers and Dale Doback quite a bit. They always make me laugh. And
talking of Step Brothers very quickly, there's been rumours flying around this potential sort of sequel, and then people saying there isn't going to be a sequel. What's the kind of current take on Step Brothers?
I think we feel like you can't do too many sequels. Like, you really have to watch it. So we've kind of used our sequel bullet on this movie. So no sequels for a little while.
And after the first film, there was that kind of unused footage that created Wake Up Ron Burgundy. I was wondering, is there enough to take away from Anchorman 2 to create another side project as well?
Well, we're actually taking all the leftover footage and making the third Hobbit out of it.
It's true. There'll be some reshoots. We have to add trolls to certain scenes, but it's working surprisingly well.
Excellent. And any potential of a third, or is it a bit too early to say?
We will let the fans decide that. The worst thing we could do at this point would be to forcibly shove a third movie down people's throats. Although, as I say it, that doesn't sound so bad.
Shoving it down their throats?
Yeah, maybe we do that.
I think so. I mean, you get paid way more for the third.
You really do.
You do, and then you don't have to work as hard because they're just psyched that you made one. So the quality level does not have to be high.
Actually, as we're talking it out right now, we are going to do a third one. It's going to be crappy, though, but we're going to get paid a ton of money, and it's going to come out immediately. It's going to come out in like 9 months. Yeah.
And someone else is playing Brick.
Yeah, Steve didn't think it was a good idea to do a third.
John Voight is Brick.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Excellent. Pleasure talking with you.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Cheers.
John Voight.